Okay, I figured out my key to success. Now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith.
Welcome back. Can't say you're locked in with DK and Atwood today. Today you're locked in with Jay-Z, Nick J, and Atwood. We are not on the mats, as you can tell, at the Next Element Academy. That is closed right now for a week. So we are at my place of business, the radio station. So it's a beautiful day. Obviously I'm Atwood. Killer to my left here is Jay-Z, a.k.a. The Prophet, a.k.a. Chevy's Head on a Stick, a.k.a. Jeremiah Scott. And the killer to far left, well, that'd be Nick Juretic, the boxing coach extraordinaire. It's our 30th episode. DK is out of town, so I figured it was only right that we bring Jeremiah on. Just turned 30 last weekend. Celebrated that in a big way. We'll talk about that, and we'll show you here soon. Before I get things started, though, it is his birthday, or was his birthday, and I got you a little gift. And that was the paper bag thing that you saw earlier that I told him was my panini.
I looked under the table. I was like, what's that? He was like, what are you looking at?
So that is a little gift for Jeremiah. Thanks to my girlfriend for wrapping it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should I open it?
Yeah, go ahead, open it. I mean, you already kind of know what it is.
Oh, there, bro. I'm so happy that your lunch wasn't in here, by the way.
He sat down in that chair. He's like, what is that? Just because I put it underneath the table to hide it. He's like, what is that? I was like, oh, it's my lunch. So I was doing some shopping while you were cutting weight. And that's the shirt you said you liked. So I got you the shirt from Young LA. You know, it looks.
That looks nice.
How does it feel? Oh yeah, it feels good too. Yeah. So got you the shirt. Don't worry about any of that.
Feels great. Young LA.
That's pretty sick. They put on the.
This is my first ever Young LA.
He's on. I put him on.
Thank you so much. I'll tell you what. Since meeting Justin, my swag has gone up big time. If you know Jay, this he's always looking clean for rich.
Look at him right now, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Happy belated to you, my friend.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So let's talk about your 30th birthday, right? Like
crazy.
Not many people get in. Well, a lot of people probably get in fist fights on their birthday, but not in the way that you did, right? With somebody who's a trained professional, bare knuckle in front of. I don't know. There had to have been at least 4,000 people there.
Yeah.
So at the Colonial Life Arena, of course, we're talking about Bare Knuckle 52. Did the Embedded series leading up to that. Awesome time. I think all of us got a little, well, you guys have known each other for a while, but at least my relationship with everybody who was involved definitely grew. It was a bonding experience, to say the least, watching you guys suffer in the steam room for however long it was.
Man.
Seemed like forever.
Cutting weight in the steam room. That's not fun. I don't want to do that again. It wasn't that bad. Once we had settled in the steam room and started get an idea of what it's like, because that was my first time doing a full weight cut in the steam room. But I don't want to do that one again. I like hot tub, sauna. I like those two. Or even we were going to do, you said, let's do the steam room and then go to the sauna. But the sauna was not working the way it should. I don't even know how hot it was. You remember how hot it was when?
The thermometer was in there. It said 175.
It was
not that.
It was
115 probably.
We got it done. We got it.
The steam room was getting
Steam
toasty,
room.
man.
And not to throw them under the bus, but I am going to throw them under the bus.
Go ahead.
Everybody was, switching in and out. And, I had to stand there the whole time, of course, because I'm losing the weight. But, Nick's a savage. Nick stayed in there. I was telling Jay a minute ago, I was like, Nick started to look worse than all of us.
I know. I was tripping, dude.
It was rough. But Jay gets in there. Jay gets there and does 1 20-minute session. I don't think he even did the 20 minutes.
He's
sitting there with me.
Dude.
Justin's sitting there doing this. Man, I'm like, he needs to chill out with saying the noises and stuff, right? And he's like, yeah, I got to go take a leak, man. And I'm like, what? Opens the door, leaves. Britton comes in. Britton goes, yeah, Jay said he had to go take a leak. I was like, yeah, I really think he just didn't want to be in here anymore. And then Britton goes, Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be in here either, man. And Justin never came back. I don't blame him. Yeah. I don't blame him though, because I didn't want to be in there. Nobody wants to be in there. But man, thank you guys again so much for coming and sitting with me through that, because if you know anything about cutting weight, it is not easy, and you just have to, you know, endure the suck and sit there through it and get it done. I think we just sidetracked on that. The whole stuff of the birthday. You find on my birthday, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the lead up to it. You know what I mean? So, but before we jump into that, because we are going to watch the fight back, and I have, you know, you two guys kind of break it down. Nick was a very big part of your training camp, especially because this time it wasn't MMA. It was one dimensional in terms of, you know, boxing.
Yeah, just boxing.
So, and I've had both of you on the podcast before, but not at the same time. So I want to touch on like how you guys met. How did you guys meet?
It's been, dude, it was I think the first time I remember ever like seeing you was in 2010. I did my first like real jiu-jitsu tournament, and it was actually in Colombia. Do you remember that? It was like,
I did a bunch of those states.
Yeah, the ones, the states tournaments. It was back in 2010, so it was a whole different scene than it is now. I don't even think there was I beat JJF or anything like that. There wasn't even a thing. So it was like, we just did these like state tournaments, and I remember seeing Jay at the tournament. Everybody's like, you know, you were like the best like youth, you know, the best like, we were all young. There was like a young division, and then there's like the grown-up division. We were still like real young at that point. I was in like high school and stuff, and he was just like the man in jiu-jitsu, and that's what I remember like seeing him for the first time.
Used to be the man in jiu-jitsu.
You were the man in jiu-jitsu.
Never
That's
really
how
on the
when I
mats
first
anymore.
met him, he was the jiu-jitsu dude. He was like the slick, quick, nasty jiu-jitsu dude. I remember I seen you do a Peruvian necktie to some dude at the state tournament. You submitted him.
Oh, dude,
remember
you
that?
were there?
I was there. I
and
watched
like,
it.
you remember that guy panicked and you're like, let him go.
Yeah, let him go. Yeah, because he jumped on him, and I was like, damn, I'm glad I'm not going against that kid, because you were in the intermediate and I was in the beginner. You know, so I'm just getting started.
That was actually in the gi too.
Yeah, it was sick. It was. I remember seeing it. I was like,
well, he was tapping, but I couldn't tell he was tapping, and like his dad started freaking out because I was choking him out. He almost choked him all the way out.
Yeah, that's a nasty one too. That's like
oh, dude, I'm nasty at the Peruvian necktie. I've hit Peruvians in my MMA fights, and you don't see that in MMA. Yeah. You don't see dudes hit Peruvians because, and I don't want to hit one really anymore, because this was in the beginning of my career. If you throw a Peruvian necktie and you do the Peruvian necktie wrong, usually you're going to end up, which was on the top position, but when you hit a Peruvian necktie, if you do not end up submitting them, you most of the time end up on your back. Yeah. So it's not the best submission to try to do in MMA because of that, but I've used it. Hit the Peruvian necktie. The dude came out of the Peruvian necktie and gave me his arm. So I went from Peruvian necktie to arm bar finish. So it was sick that I got that, because it's unheard of. But yeah, the Peruvian necktie, I'm really good at hitting those, and it's a death choke. When you get that thing on there, it's like you can't get out. Like, I've locked it in. I'm really good at those and guillotines and. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't even remember seeing you at that. That was a long time.
That was my first memory of him, I think. And I had just got in there. I started at Fitness Edge MMA, and I was just getting like in with all those guys. Chris Kane was actually my coach for that tournament, which I ended up winning gold in the gi.
Oh, nice.
I submitted all 3 dudes with triangles too. I had this one setup for a triangle. I'm still, triangles and arm bars are like the only thing I'm like good at. But like I submitted 3 people with the same triangle setup that Chris Kane taught me. So it was funny, but it was like, going that far back, you know, we were just like kids at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, is what we're saying. No Nick for a very long time. Was I like?
And who would have thought?
That's already like.
Who would have thought we'd have ended up training together as much as we have and doing what we do and what we've accomplished in the 3 years of us putting in like serious work together? Like, who would have thought, dude? But
Not
like,
me.
Damn,
we could have hit that smoother, but
this weekend coming right back.
I can't remember how many times we did that.
Dude, it was when Walker got in town, and we did it in front of Walker.
That whole guy was the best.
Oh yeah, in the elevator.
I think he was upset because he came in and what did he say? He like fired off something. He thought he was gonna be like the big man.
Yeah, he came in like he was in the elevator for like 2 seconds and talking to like the announcer for bare-knuckle, and it was like something fuck that guy or something like that, and then we're all just kind of sitting there and
Oh,
yeah. Then we laughed, and they all thought it was like they both looked like that. And then we did it again, and they were just kind of like, all right.
I think we laughed like 3 times
Three
like that.
times.
Where
Yeah.
it's just
Louder
like
and louder.
hysterically laughing. Like you'll laugh one time, you look at someone, then start laughing, and again. I think I looked at Jay. We started laughing real hard. At
Then
that
you looked
point,
at
they're
Clay.
like, "Hey, quit laughing."
Yeah,
Then
they
I
were
look
like,
at Clay.
get mad.
We all start laughing again. At that point, they didn't say nothing. They're just like, "All right, let's leave." And got out the elevator.
That was awkward, but it was funny. It was awkward for them, funny for us.
I thought it was hilarious.
They were outnumbered, so.
Good times, dude. Fight week gets pretty rowdy, man.
Crazy.
That was
It's a
my first
journey, yeah.
experience, actually kind of seeing like the ins and outs of it, besides just what, you can see on like a UFC embedded, and they don't really show like the bad shit. I mean, I guess Ultimate Fighter is the closest I've seen to like a bad weight cut, with Bobby Southworth. Shout out to Bobby. We've had him on. He cut like 22 pounds in 24 hours.
On the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, the first season.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And he was like quitting, right?
Yeah, but he ended up fighting and he knocked the dude out, but he doesn't remember any of it.
Wow.
He said that he was so drained after that weight cut that he does not remember anything. He's like, actually, I don't want to butcher this. You can go back and watch the episode. He talks about it, but I think he said, I can't remember what he knocked him out with, but he thought he had knocked him out with something else. Like that's where his mind was. And when he watched it back, he was like, oh shit, like that's how I got him.
Yeah.
So weight cutting is crazy. And I got like my first dose of, well, like you said, dude, I could only do 20 minutes in the steam room. How much time do you guys think you guys did there?
I think we did like.
Had to have been like close to like
2 to 3 hours, I think, total.
Yeah. It was nuts.
Going on. It was like two and a half.
Split up and obviously
Right,
in
in
different
increments.
But it was like, overall, I think you were over 2 hours by the end. Well, we did over 2 days too, remember? So
We did.
one
Yeah.
night and then came back the morning and
The
did
next
more.
morning.
We did do it the perfect though, man. Because I mean, right when we hit that last one, we were like, man, we could just do a little bit more. I think we were like, instead of like doing the full, like cycle we were gonna do, I was like, man, I just want to stay in here for this amount of time and be done. And you agreed, and we were like, that's fine. We got on the scale and I think we were 0.2 under.
Yep.
Like it was like you couldn't have done any better than that. But yeah, man, that part sucks. But I mean, we really handled it the right way. And even with the hand that we were dealt, like I said, we got stuck doing it in just a steam room. We still got it done the same way. Like it was still professional and shit. It just wasn't the way we wanted to go about it,
So how much do we credit the lady in there with the towel?
Dude,
making
I'm not
it
gonna lie.
hot.
For day number two, I think she saved us
I'm glad you brought that
one
up.
extra cycle. So she didn't save us. She saved him one extra
Yeah, yeah,
cycle.
Man, this is gonna make some people laugh. If it doesn't, I'm sitting there. So the cycle, you could turn the steam room on. There was this lady that came in and she was like, "Do you mind?" And we were like, "What are you talking about?" She was
Kinda
like,
like
she
that.
stood up, took her towel and started whipping it around her head like this, and we were like, yo, what's she doing in here? And what she was doing was making like the thermometer or whatever in there like cool down, and it would turn the steamer on and make it really hot. And it just gets so hot in there. And I mean, we were like, oh my gosh, she keeps it going. And she's like, all right. She puts the towel down and she starts like dancing, like doing this dance moves in the corner. We're like, yo, this chick's crazy, bro. Yeah. She got it super hot, starts dancing. I think at one point the towel smacked Britton upside the head.
She didn't even stop. It took like 2 hits. He had to duck and she kept going.
But so that we found that out the night before. And then it's weigh-in day and we're having to show back up to cut the rest of these few pounds off I have, right? And Nick comes in there and he's trying to get it on, and I've got a towel, and I'm like, do you want the towel? And he's like, yeah, I want the towel, because he wants to do what she did to turn it on. And Nick takes this towel, and Nick's over there with helicopter in it, he's getting it going, and I'm like, it gets so hot. I mean, it's so hot when he's doing this. The steamer turns on, and when the steamer turns on, it turns off, and Nick's still going, and I'm like, hey, yo, it's good. Like, I'm dying over here. Like, we're done. And Nick's like, nah. And I'm like, no, we're done. And you stop. And Nick's like, listen, I'm not doing this for me, man. I'm doing this for you. And he keeps going. And I'm like, stop, please stop. It's so hot, But it was truthful that he did do it for me. But I'm telling you, man, I was dying. I was dying in there.
I'm not lying. I think that was the key to you getting under. We had a pound. You were a pound over, and he got pissed. He stepped on the scale. It was 157, and he goes, fuck, and just gets pissed. And I'm like, yo, we have one more cycle. But we had actually been losing. We had 3 pounds to go when we got there, and we were actually losing a pound every session, right? But that was longer sessions. We were doing like just over 20-minute sessions. And then the last one, we were going to split it up. I think we were going to do like we thought we were going to have to do steam room, then a little bit more in the sauna. But when I got in the steam room, I was just like, I just want him to be done. I was like, hey, let's bust in there this 15 minutes, make it as hot as possible. That way he cuts away and we can just be in here, do it one time and just get under. So I was spinning that thing until I literally got dizzy. Like I got dizzy. I sat down and I was like, oh my God, I can't do that or I'm going to pass out. I was like, because it was, of course, I was burning up. I'm standing and then it's hotter as the higher you get. Like the lower you get to the ground, the cooler it is. So I'm standing up there, swinging this thing around till my arms were gassing.
I could tell you were struggling.
Yeah, I was struggling.
That was the first time throughout all my weight cuts with you. You sit with me. That one I was starting to think like, maybe Nick needs to leave. Because I felt like you were feeling worse than me at some times. I was like, damn, dude, like you can go drink some water if you want. Just don't let me watch. But like,
I just got caught up. You know, there was so much like going on, and with the sauna break. And that's the one thing about like going to these places. It's like we called them, we asked if they had like a sauna. They tell me it's like 175, and you get in there, it's like 100 degrees. It doesn't even work. And then like they had a hot tub, but their hot tub was all closed down. So it's like you can think you got everything all set up. Like I'm going to go to this place. They're going to have a sauna, a hot tub, and a steam room. Like we're going to be golden. But then you get there, one of them's broke, and the other one doesn't hardly work. And then so you're left with one option. That happened in Atlanta too. We kind of went into Atlanta. We were going to do the same thing, hot tub, sauna. Because when we did it the one time, man, we killed it. We did hot tub sauna. That was your fight for Jay Haas.
Yeah, in Florence. That place has a killer facility.
They have a beautiful facility. So we were able to cut, and it was perfect. I think we just did 2 sessions. We cut like, I don't know, like 6-7 pounds in 2 sessions, and we're done. It was beautiful. And then we tried to do that same thing in Atlanta. We went there. Their hot tub was closed. We didn't know that till we pulled up. And then their sauna was the grossest thing ever. Like a pile of dirt, sweat, water.
Brown. Just disgusting.
Right in the middle.
I walked in there and like...
You step in it by accident. It's just...
well, everybody in there had shoes on and I'm the only one with no shoes on standing in this brown puddle. And I'm like, so like, if you're not, when you're cutting weight, your brain's already like, man, I don't want to be here. Then you look down and you see that around your feet and you're like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like, get me out of here.
And it smelled bad too.
Stinks.
It was not a good smell. Even this one, like it had like that. Just like
there was a brown puddle over there in this one too.
Yeah, and that little, but it was like so it wasn't. They're never really like clean. So it's a challenge to get in there. It's a mental like battle.
At the end when I was on my hands and knees,
I was like,
you were like, yeah, just. Come sit there next to me. I was like, oh,
How many pounds did you cut total? Like, what did you weigh in at whenever we first got there? It had to have been like 10 or 11.
I think I did lose 11 pounds in water.
Yeah.
And now it's like, when I do 11, that's like where like I'm about to be like, I don't need to ever do anything more than 11. 11's like my max. I've cut a lot more. I think I've cut 20 pounds before. Not happy about it, but I believe I've cut 20, and that was when I used to fight at 135. And that's one of the. I think that's the reason I lost my title fight was because of that. But 11 pounds, I can do it, and it's not bad. It's like right at when I'm like I don't feel good. But if I do 11, I can do 11, and I can be like, all right, I'll be all right, and I'm good. Right when I hydrate and stuff, I feel my energy and shit come back. I mean, it was amazingly quick, guys. Like whenever we started to drink water, I think I was sitting on the floor, I started drinking, and I was talking to you, and I was like, I started to smile a little bit, and I was like, yo, like I feel life. It was like within 15 minutes of me rehydrating, I was like looking at Nick, I was like, yo.
Well, when you guys left the hotel room, when you came back, you were a completely different person.
It was amazing. It's amazing how fast that is. That's why, like, people, I tell people all the time, you don't know how, like, good you got it until it's taken away from you. Like, water is life. It is life. Like, when you drink, people are just like, give me a drink, and they drink it. I've learned through the weight cuts and stuff that, like, when I get that fluid, like, the water is just everything, man. It makes my body come alive because water is life. It is life. When you drink water, you're like gaining life. It's a weird way to think about it. But it was just amazing how fast I came back. And then it was literally later that day, I was in a suit and, just swagged out, looking at that dude in his face, telling him, like, I walked up to Chevy. I took my hat off, put it on the floor, and like went inside. I was like, what are you going to do? And he was like, I'm good. And I said, you ain't going to do shit. I cut him off. I cut him off right when I was all up in his shit. I felt like $1 million. I looked like $1 million. I've had so many people come up to me and talk to me and say like, dude, you're the only one that looked like like swagged out, the one that did it the way you're supposed to do it, and that's exactly.
And the only one who like broke their rules because you were like supposed to wear their fight kit. I'm sure everybody backstage was like, this guy's his first time fighting for the promotion. Like, what does he think? They had
us. They only let the fighters back there. All my coaches and stuff, they were out in the front. And they have us lined up. So like my opponent's on the left side of me and everybody, it's like these group of dudes are fighting me and Chevy. And then the ones behind us, everyone's wearing Lions Not Sheep gear, right? Because they're like making you wear their stuff. And I'm the only one wearing like an actual like gangster ass suit, dress pants, dress shoes, gold watch, gold chain. And, you know, I just, everybody's standing there wearing that stuff. And I could feel people looking at me like, hey, like, what the? And one of the dude comes up. He's like, hey, where's your stuff at? And I was like, I left it at the room. And then like, there's an awkward silence. He's just like looking at the other guys. And then he like looks at Andy and he's like, you all right with that? He said, let him be. And then everyone's kind of like, oh, what the? Like, you know, what the fuck? They're wearing their Lions Not Sheep hat shirt. They're like, what the? And I'm like, that's right. And I even told the dude next to me, I was like, yo, dude, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm about to literally fight bare knuckle. Like, I'm getting paid, but I'm not getting paid a shit ton. I'm doing what I want when I come here. Like, this is like my moment and no one's going to take it from me. And sucks for you guys pretty much. Like, wear your stupid shirt and shut your mouth.
Yeah, right. And when you're on a stage like that, you have to, if you haven't already, like you have to start building your brand. Yeah. You know, you have to market yourself. And that's what the fight game has come down to, right? In the past 10 years. Like, you have to be able to market yourself. It's not only about skill anymore. In terms of fighting, like, yeah, you can be a great fighter, but you can be a great fighter that a lot of times, like the general public, they don't necessarily care to watch because there's no personality. Yeah, you know, and you can think of guys like that in the UFC. They're great fighters. They just don't possess that extra it. You know, so you have to market yourself. And I think you did a great job of that. You definitely stole the weigh-ins for sure. And then when it comes down to the fight, which we're about to watch in a minute, like if you guys haven't watched the Embedded episode, then you'll see how that goes down. But, you know, going back to you kind of doing what you want, right? Right before you walked out and you guys are in that box and you're just kind of walking around and you're telling Nick and Walker, like, man, you know, I feel like I'm going to war right now. Bro, I cut it out of the episode, but the dude opens, he goes, you guys wearing your Lions Not Sheep gear? He's like looking at it, and he can obviously tell you guys have on like profit shirts. He goes, it's fine if you don't, but did you get it cleared? And you're like, did they give you stuff? And you're like, and you're just walking forward like, they didn't give me nothing. Nothing.
I said, I didn't get a bag or nothing or something like that.
Yeah, he did say I didn't get a bag.
even though
I think that guy did. Yeah, I did. I think I like looked at, it was like an awkward moment. He was just like, all right. And then just like left us.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, we're about to go out in there and fist fight. Like,
yeah, I am literally looking
and
at
you're worried about Lions Not Sheep gear.
I don't give a shit about your Lions Not Sheep right now, dude. Like, I am tripping. Yeah. But that moment that you're talking about when we were in that little, that's one of my favorite spots of that fight night, because like there was I don't know what it was. There was a big light right there, and light. I'm about to like, I can hear the crowd screaming, man. And I'm like in that moment of like, I have to believe in myself. I have to do everything it takes right now to become victorious. Like, I've all the work, all the shit that we've done, like I feel it in me, right? That was where like the shit was like I'm sparking with life, man. And I'm like looking at my coaches back there, and I'm like, I'm getting a chill bumps right now, dude. Like I was like, oh fuck, dude, here it is. Like, it was on, dude. When I looked at my coaches, I could tell they felt what I was feeling, and I was like, it's game time, dude. Like, I'm about to go nuts. That was the craziest moment. This was probably my favorite fight I've ever had in my life, because I don't know, like, I've had a lot of fights. I mean, like, Sean Brown one was dope. There's some ones in the back in the day are dope, but this one right here really felt like it felt good to me, like something because I've been going through some things, and like we all are, and that one was awesome, man. And I actually felt a piece of me that I've been having for a while, but I mean, when I get cracked, you'll see it, when I get cracked here coming up, like, I remember the things that go through my mind and what changes me from your average person to the person that I'm working to be every day. So it was just awesome, man. I can't wait to do it again, dude.
I think it's amazing how you can just turn it off. Like, you could tell when you watch that video that a part of you at least was in your own head. Like you're like, man, like you could see it on your face. But then when you walk out and you're what we're about to watch on the broadcast, you would never know that you were just thinking that. It's just the way you fucking turned it off. And like that to me was crazy because like, obviously I didn't see that part until after when I'm editing video. Right. But whenever I'm like, damn, like that's when I realized like, and you've talked about that when you were on the podcast before. Like sometimes you could be standing across the ring or the cage, whatever you're in, looking at him like, yo, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And it looked like you might have had that thought for a second in your head. But as soon as you walked out, like that shit was gone.
Well, something that you guys don't know, and like only told Clay the other day, is when they made y'all leave from that room we're talking about, right? They made them leave, and he's like, all right, come with me, stand on the stairs. He's like, this is what's going to happen, because Chevy's walking out at this point. And he's like, what you're going to do is when I tell you to go, you're going to walk. He said, you're going to stand in front of the screen, you're going to count Mississippi 1, Mississippi 2, and then you're going to walk. And I looked at him, I said, yeah, I'm going to do what I want. And then he said, wait, no, I said, and I was like, yeah, all right. Like, because you know what? What are you going to do at this point in time? You're not going to do nothing. You better just shut your mouth because I'm about to walk into that ring and give everybody their bloody show right now. If I want to stand there for 15 seconds, I'm going to stand there for 15 seconds because I know where I'm going and what I'm going to do. There's nothing, at that point in time, nothing nobody can do to stop me because I've made it. And like you said, when I walked in the front of that, you're right, I clicked in. I was like, no one's going to stop me from that point in time because I'm pure life. I'm not thinking anymore. I'm being in life. And no one can stop that. It's a feeling, and when you look at that, you don't want to get in the way of that because you know that it's not your place to talk.
Yeah.
It's my place to live.
Right.
So that was I liked it when he said, I didn't mean to say that. He was like, you're gonna do this. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I want. He was like, wait, what did you just say? I was like,
He was probably tripping. He's like, holy shit.
and that's the perfect segue because this picks up like in your walkout. Now they'll be able to hear the audio, but I'm not gonna have any audio playing here because I don't want the mics to pick it up. I can play a little bit actually.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to hear the announcers or to see what some of the commentary was.
On this, his 30th birthday, Jeremiah Scott is.
And this is where it turns on. This moment right here.
Couple slaps.
Yeah, because that to me, when I see that, it doesn't look like anybody who, and I'm not saying you were doubting yourself at all, but it doesn't look like anybody who is questioning anything at all.
I think the reason you're saying what you're saying when I'm back there is because I want them to feel what's really in everybody.
It was an emotional moment. You weren't crying by any means, but like I could tell like what you were saying was coming directly from the heart, you know?
Yeah. And I just want them to know, like, when I go to here, they know I'm going to be this, but I want them to know what's going on in here, and that's the truth of what everyone feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go in there without everybody feels doubt and everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's just how you deal with it. There's no getting away from it.
Now, when you're at this point, what kind of things are going through your head?
At this point, it's like, it's time to put on a show, and I want everybody to know that this is getting ready to be the one. Like, I'm like talking to people, I'm like, yeah, you feel this? Like, I want them to feel me, and I want them to feel like they're like, yo, this dude's. I want to connect the crowd with what's going on. Right. I want everyone to feel like they're a part of that moment, and like, I try to like, you know, talk because like look at Chevy, he's not moving. He's like they're strictly business, which I like. I like this, but at the same time, I hear it from a lot of the best in the world. This is not just the fight business. This is the entertainment business. Yeah. So I want to bring the crowd in there as well. I want everybody to feel like, man, this dude's different.
Right.
And that's what I'm going for. And that's what I am. I am different.
Did you guys see his poster at all? Does it not look like somebody edited his abs?
I didn't see that.
It looks like they were like animated, like drawn on.
I did not see it, man.
Well, he doesn't really have.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He also looks like he has like, he could be like a Viking. Very short Viking, but a Viking nonetheless.
And see, like this right here, is me like clocking into my like final form. You feel me?
Yeah.
And not everybody does that, and I've been doing that for a few years now, and it's just like my own ninjutsu.
So Jason Collins, I think he's a very good ref. He's a good dude. He told me before when I saw him before the fight started, he's like, I'm reffing your boy Jeremiah's fight tonight. I hope he doesn't try anything dumb. And he's like, but it's Jeremiah. Basically saying that you are a wild dude.
Yeah, he knows.
So what were you expecting out of Chevy in the start?
That left hand. And, I think that when I fight bare knuckle, my next fight, I'm not going to play this outside game because outside game is not a safe place to play in bare knuckle. You need to find out, like, staying in the middle is a big thing with bare knuckle, I believe. I'm not saying you can't play the game on the outside, but, like, a lot of, like, staying in the pocket and ripping and finding your place is going to be what I think in bare knuckle. Like, blocking and ripping and pushing the pace. Because I didn't like being on the outside. If you're on the outside, usually you're going to be getting hit. And the distance and timing is just a little bit different too. So I was trying to figure that out before like engaging. As you can tell, like I'm kind of like reaching with my punches. Towards the end of this fight, you can tell that I'm not reaching. I'm at the right distance. I had to find my distance. This first round was me feeling things out. It's very different.
Yeah.
You can see our hands hitting each other. Like I'm punching his fist. I was like kind of just saying like, give me some room. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was just an awkward feel at first.
Got a nice little uppercut on the break
Yeah,
there.
I could tell he adjusted his mouthpiece after I did that to him because I remember hitting him with those. They didn't feel good for sure.
So right here.
I think he clipped me a little bit.
I was about to say, did he clip you and then you just kept driving forward?
Yeah, well, I was like stumbling and I was
Right.
like, it was just the best route to do.
And lucky that he didn't step out the way because if you would have fallen, they would have given him. That would have been.
I hit him with a good bit of these hard left hooks, and that's what cuts him.
Damn, that was a second.
Right at
It
the,
was.
So they'll even say it. As long as the strike comes before the bell, then it's legal. I mean, he hit you right on the bell, dude.
Yeah, my legs are. Look at my legs crossing
Yep.
here. I was stumbled.
My heart dropped at this point. What about yours, Nick? Like Nick? When you were over in the corner and you saw that happen, what's going through your head?
When he got up, I knew he was good. I've already seen him here. I've seen him get dropped like that.
And
Come
people,
up.
you know.
So now I just wanted that G guy to like make sure. I almost thought you got hit in the nose. It looked like you got hit in the nose from there.
And you know, people online were like, "Oh, the ref, he was stumbling," but this is why Jason is a great ref because Jason was aware that there was 1 second left in the round before it went. Then you would have time to recover. You know what I mean? And you stood up. And as long as you're coherent, because he asked you, "Do you wish to continue?" And you said, "Yeah." You could see your head move, yeah. And he knew that it was right at the end of the round.
Chevy even told me that when I got dropped and I got back up and I looked at him, he said that this is after the fight in the crowd, he came up to me and said, like, I knew that I had my hands full after that because I could see in your eyes that you were like, I'm still here. But that knuckle he hit me with that left hand, it hit me right here in my gums, in between my teeth, my teeth and my nose. That shit hurt. Everything in bare knuckle hurts. Every punch that hits, even the ones that are not full blown hits, they do not feel good. Nothing feels good in bare knuckle. It's a bunch of pain.
And you're back now. I mean, your legs.
Oh, I woke up now.
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
good.
look, I'm in the middle more now. I plant my ground and I keep my nice tight guard. Like I'm catching, shooting more.
Now, do you see how he keeps his lead leg on the outside of yours?
Yes.
Is he trying to set up a straight with that?
Left.
Right.
Yeah,
Just a
and-
cross.
Yeah, he was doing the right thing by doing that. The commentators even say something about it.
Yeah. That's where I picked it up from. And I didn't even notice because I don't analyze fights like that. These commentators, I'm assuming they were fighters at some point, so they do. And I was like, damn, I didn't even pick up on that. But yeah, every single time he steps forward, he's on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal. But for boxing specific, just because your foot's on the outside doesn't mean it's like, that's like a basic, like a real like basic overview is like, oh, just get your foot to the outside and then you win. It's not that easy, right? Foot to the out. If you have your foot on the inside, there's also a bunch of things you could do with your foot on the inside too that are actually more effective. It's like as if you get on the inside of his foot and then you cut your angle inwards, you essentially get him at his midline on his heels.
Right.
And it's a lot harder for him to actually, for right now, Chevy's a southpaw, so it's a lot harder for him to turn towards his left and punch than it is to turn towards his right and punch. So if you go foot on the outside, he could just stay pumping his jab and turn with you pretty easily. But if you go on, like, so Jay stepped over towards his right on his, to this inside, like towards Chevy's left hand, he could actually push him back towards his midline. It's harder for Chevy to follow him that way. So there's a lot of, it's like, it's not cut and dry. It's not like, oh, you have like your foot on the outside and you win every time.
Right.
Damn, those are good shots.
Dude,
right
I wish you could see the section that we were all sitting in at that very moment. Everybody was like, he's back.
He's back. Yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah, I was about to say, now you can tell that I'm not really reaching as much anymore. I'm like, the punches are coming right. I've learned my distance. I thought I was going to get in trouble for doing that.
That was sick. I wish somebody would have a picture of that from where I was sitting, because you did that and it was just a cloud of bloody spit in the air above you. It was sick.
I thought I was going to get in trouble for that because David Feldman was sitting there and I thought I had spit blood all over him.
Well, I mean, it's bare knuckle. If you're in a splash zone, then.
But he was in a nice suit and shit. It was just not a good. I was
he
like,
can afford another one.
Shit. Absolutely, he can definitely afford another one.
This ended up being a pretty good fight right
This
here.
guy is getting ready to fight for the title in my weight class.
Soto? Oh yeah, because he fought he's like Kroom.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say it when I was walking by all these guys. I'm sizing everybody up and looking at them because I'm not just thinking about what I'm doing right now. I'm thinking about where I'm gonna be at.
The future, yeah.
Yeah, and with bare knuckle, dude, I truly believe I can become the BKFC champ. And I'm not coming here to just play around. I'm going to BKFC because I want to beat everybody.
Right.
I want to be a champ in BKFC. So that's where the goal is, to be with that. And I think that now after this first one, I've learned so much, man. I learned so much how to fight in BKFC. I think I'm going to be a big problem in my next one. I'm not going to move. I'm going to be on these dudes. Like, they're going to have to hurt me to make me want to quit.
You have a lot better like counter punching than most of these guys too. So like,
if I'd have hit him with that right there, dude.
Oh, you're about to stick him here in a second. I remember this when I was editing. He comes in, and I think you hit him with a left. Boom! Right
left
there.
hook. I think I cut him. Well, I think he may have already been cut.
Yeah, but
that
you definitely
left hook,
made it
man,
worse.
I got a nice left hook, and my knuckles what cut his face open. Like I hit him with that, and then my cornerman, man, Walker. I remember he was like, "Keep hitting that cut, keep hitting that cut," and I was in my mind like, this is crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I like it because I was definitely trying to hit that cut some more. I want to split that hole open. You can tell I'm not reaching as much anymore now. I'm just like sticking my punches out of the right amount of distance.
Countering really, really well.
And if you watch, Chevy's now, I think, starting to get defeated mentally. He's slowing down. His punches are starting to drag. They're extending out, but also dropping rather than coming right back to his chin. You see how they're dropping to his... That's exactly what happens when you get sloppy. And getting sloppy with me is going to be... I'm going to be right there on you. Like, you can't allow yourself to get sloppy with me.
Well, it's like you hit him right on the ear.
Your key to that moment right there was all your counter punching. He got tired from missing. He missed, like, I don't know if he's missing all of his punches, and that's what's
that left hook right there was nasty.
This touch drop, yep.
Was that like an overhand you just hit him with?
No, it was actually, we've been working it. It's not like a corkscrew. It's more like a catch and just like a snap, dude. That one's been working a lot because it's like you're so close to each other. You don't want to like throw too far, you'll miss the head. You just do a little mollywop.
Yeah.
And me and Nick had been working on that a lot. Those little shots.
I mean, you called it. You called the shot in the first episode of Embedded.
I did. It's incredible. Hey, is that not crazy?
And remember, we planned it out because I was like, I'm not going to show that in case you hit him with it, and then we'll play it back and say, hey, he called his shot.
I literally said I was going to do that. It was either going to be the left hook that I smacked Nick right in the face with, or that quick little right hand that I did finish the fight with, and I called that money, videoed it so people would believe it. Like,
boom.
It's just a snap. You see, he just basically snapping the arm.
And that was right on the chin.
Because do you see how much he was literally falling into that punch. So it's not about how hard you throw it. It's just about do you get it on the chin. Right? If you touch the chin, he's already falling into it. He's doing the work for you. He'll go down.
Look at Clay with my camera.
see the
He got in the ring.
Yeah,
That dude got in the ring with it, bro.
At one
kills
point,
it.
he's
Clay
holding
kills
he's
it with
holding
the
a
media
phone
stuff.
and a
does.
camera.
Well, Clay's been doing media. Clay's been my media guy before.
Yeah, dude, he gets in there.
He's
I
done-
remember the one time, man, he gets like, I'm like, hell yeah, Clay, you're killing it.
Bro, Clay could be really good at that stuff. Clay likes to fight as well, and he doesn't want to just be doing media shit. He wants to be in the mix as well. So, but yeah, he's always been really good at that. Dude, this was I swear, this type of fight, dude, I felt like me and this dude were trying to kill each other. Like, cause there's so much blood and like my hands are swollen up. Like that shit felt insane. I like bare knuckle because I like that type of feel too, man. As sick as it sounds, they don't like you jumping on the railing.
No, he took you right off quick.
celebration begin for Jeremiah Scott.
Yeah, and just check this out. I don't think I'm getting paid for this, but I'm sick of this shit, and I'm actually disappointed in myself in this part because they got me. And this is like what I'm saying, the government, like little things like this, like they'll put a commercial on you or some shit. I'm standing there. All I remember seeing right now is somebody fucking puts a can of whatever this shit is. And look, yeah, see that? Look, and it was like the arm came out, and I was like, "Give me that." They got me, and I was like, "I don't know what this is, but I better be getting paid for it." That's what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid for that. Why did someone just give me a can of something that I'm not getting paid for? That was crazy. They were like, "Hey, try to give him this." They were like, "Yes." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, got him. No, I'm not getting got, because I tell you this, like we said before, I'm wearing my clothes. I'm going to do my stuff because
Yep, your shirt.
that's my shirt. Those are
There's
my
some
shirts.
lucky lady in the first row got when he threw it.
Best feeling in the world, and also best birthday I've ever had in my entire life. There's no better way to turn 30 years old than getting in a fist fight and doing it the way we did it.
Yeah.
Best birthday ever. Dead ass. Best birthday ever. It was there was a couple times I was thinking, I was like, man, fighting bare knuckle on my birthday, I could just be chilling, drinking some beer. but no, that's the best way to do it. And dude, I literally, just so everybody knows, today I just signed a contract. It's been a week and today's Saturday, a week and 1 day since we fought that fight right there. And somebody hit me up and asked if I'd like to fight MMA in Ohio at 155 pounds. And I signed the contract today and sent it to him, and we're back at it. My hand's still a little bit sore. My face is still a little bit sore, but I want one more before the year's over with, and this one's going to be put me at 10-7 as a professional MMA, and we're looking to go to the UFC. I'm not doing this to. This shit's getting ready. I believe that I'm about to make it and do something big with this shit, and that's the only reason we're going to do one more. We're fighting a dude that's 5-2. He's no slow leak whatsoever. But I think right now in my life, anybody I fight's gonna have a problem, and we're gonna go up there and not just win, but get a knockout. Yep. And end the year 10-7, start the year off fresh, and hopefully be able to go to the UFC by 2024. That's the goal. That's the goal. Or become the BKFC champ. Either one of those is fine with me. But I want to go to the UFC, and when I get to the UFC, Dana White, you're going to owe me some money for all those times you put my video up since I was 21. Dana White looking for a fight. I've been seeing that for going on 10 years now. And when I get there, you'll be able to use that to blow my shit up even more. Be like, damn, this was over 12 years ago that I was on Dana White looking for a fight, and I made it to the UFC. All those years I had to train, and nothing came easy for me, but it's definitely feeling like it's my time, and I'm excited to see what we are going to do. I think that we're getting ready to go to the UFC. I'm
down. I want to fucking go, dude. After the BKFC and feeling what it's like to be part of a real like organization, at least that has their
With
shit
the real
together.
production.
Right, with
Yeah,
real
yeah.
production. They put their fighters on. They do the right things by everybody. It's like, it's just different when you get to that level. Like just the way you're treated, the way everybody, like everything's set up, everything's organized. You know, everybody's like about their shit, and it's not like a.
And
you
that's
go to some of these events is a shit show.
Oh,
sometimes.
it's horrible. I wonder what Ohio's about to be like. You know, I don't think
don't
it's
know
bad
either.
because I keep forgetting his name. You'll know him. Let Me Bang, bro. What's his name?
Yeah, Julian Lane.
Julian Lane is, I think, headlining that fight on December 16th in Ohio. I believe the fight promotion is called. I'm gonna butcher that, so I'm just gonna stop with that. But
What spot on the card do you have? Do you know?
I have no clue. I think they have. I could be butchering all this, but I think there's going to be 4 pro fights. Who knows? Nice. Who knows? I'll find out more. Like I said, I just signed the contract. It's been a hell of a week.
And Julian Lane was in attendance for your fight last week.
He was. I was yelling at him, "Let me bang, bang, bro." He
Really?
looked. Yeah, he looked. He turned around, looked at me, and smiled, and I was like, It was pretty cool. He was smiling, looking at me. I was like, let me bang, bro. I still like got blood all over me still, you know. So he was probably like, all right, that was cool.
So how does it work with the BKFC then, right? Like obviously you haven't signed a contract with them. If you were to sign a contract with them, are you only allowed to exclusively fight with them?
With the contract that I signed for the last one, they said I'm not allowed to fight for any other bare knuckle organization.
But I mean, like
they
MMA.
think up to 3 years. MMA, it's fun. Do
long as
whatever
you're not
I
bare
want.
knuckle
It's
boxing.
just they want me to be their bare knuckle. Like if they see me, I'm BKFC, nothing else.
So you signed? So the contract you said you signed is for the next 3 years. You can't do.
I think it was 3 years. That's the
Okay, so they do
agreement, I
plan
think.
on then signing you to a bigger deal.
I already got offered to. I think they were trying to put BKFC at the CCU.
Yeah,
They're trying to put one on there.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it would be a 6th spot. So they're still talking about me, you know, fighting for them. I'm definitely gonna be fighting for them again. They want me to fight for them. I just don't know when. And I think if I do though, it's gonna be at the beginning of the year. I'm not gonna be doing anything with them this year because we already got lined up MMA. But
so I think it would be. You've never left the country, have you?
no, but we need
That
to.
would be a good thing for you guys to do. Have you ever
I've
left the
never
country,
left
Nick?
the country either. I
Because
don't know if I want to.
If you, dude, if you could get if you could get an international
Why not?
fight,
Sketchy.
oh
We
man,
can go together though. We'll be all right.
it seems sketchy until you do it. Well, it depends on where you go.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm
The
gonna want
world's
to
a
go
wild
somewhere
place right now,
sketchy,
if you
and
guys
that's
notice.
Thailand.
Yeah.
I want to go to Thailand, but that place is sketchy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really where I want to go, especially with the places I'm gonna want to go train, like in Phuket and like.
Oh,
But
that's
I mean,
that's
shit,
how you
man.
say it. I thought it was fuck it. PHUKE. I thought it was fuck it.
I've heard it was called that Phuket though.
It's like Phuket.
Phuket.
Yeah, I'm not,
We could
I'm
all just
definitely-
be butchering it right
Yeah,
now.
I'm just gonna call
Don't
fuck
look
it.
at
I like
me,
that better.
don't I definitely don't think it's called fuck it.
But yeah, right outside of Bangkok, you know.
Can't wait to go. Cannot wait to go. I swear though, hey, imagine us all out there together.
That'd be a
But that's something I was going to mention to you, man, because that could be a way where you could see other things and get paid for it.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude. Actually, Steve, you know Steve Panda Banks.
Yeah.
He actually messaged me after he fights bare knuckle up there, and he's huge. I mean, literally huge by his name, but he's a big man, huge. And he fights in these like crazy. I believe they're called like circus fights or something. He'll be fighting fucking like 3 dudes at once, like one dude, just him versus 3. He's fought some huge fights, but he reached out to me after my bare knuckle fight and said he wanted to work with me on some stuff. I don't know what it was. He said, let me know when your next fight is. And he was going to talk to me. So, and he's up there in Phuket, fuck it. And we go up there and we can go up there and hang out with him. He's the man. And we'd have so much fun with him. I believe he likes to party and have a good time too. So like, yeah, we're definitely be hitting Panda when we come out there.
He cornered me for my first ever kickboxing fight.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, Steve Banks, my mom, and Brad Lloyd all drove up in one car to actually it was Stephen Thompson's gym.
He takes up like 2 seats.
takes up
I bet
like
you
2
know how much
seats.
room in there.
Bro, my mom isn't very big either. So she
Your
got
mom
sat
was in the car?
Yeah, she drove. Basically we drove. Like I drove. My
Your
mom.
mom's
My
awesome.
mom, yeah, she's awesome. She drove me there. Essentially, she was the one driving me there, and Steve Banks went, and Brad Lloyd also competed then too. Me and him both won gold. Like we killed
Nice.
it, dude. I think we both had 2 matches, both won both of our matches. So Steve Banks went 4-0 in one day, and that was at Stephen Thompson's gym, Upstate Karate in Greenville.
Yeah.
That was the first kickboxing. It was IKF like way back in the day. This was probably like 2010, and it was that same time. But that was kind of cool, man.
That
That's
fighting
like,
2 times in one day though, man. How's that?
it was fun.
I've never done that.
Well, I did 4 times in one night for the Rough and Rowdy. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
I do remember
you were
that.
there.
I was
cornering
there.
people.
Yeah, I cornered
No,
like
I-
freaking 50-something
50
people,
people,
dude.
I was there as well
4
because
times
they
in
had
one
us
night.
promoting it on the air and they gave us all VIP passes. So I was there. I saw Nick. That last guy you boxed.
Yeah, Creed Bateman.
Is that the white dude?
No, it was
Oh,
the,
you
one,
did-
the
you
last
bought-
dude I fought. I did fight Creed.
Oh, you boxed a white dude, another white guy, and he had just been fucking everybody up. And then, so I knew who you were, right? Like, and I knew that you had fought. So I was like, man, this is gonna be interesting. And I mean, you really made it just about all of it looked pretty easy.
Easy. Oh,
Yeah.
it was easy.
It was super easy.
He handled everyone. It was not even.
One thing I hated, and I'll never forget, he's like, for the bragging rights, the money, the jacket. Did they ever give you that fucking jacket? I think I asked you that before.
Did on our podcast.
Yeah.
No, they didn't give me the jacket.
I remember this when we were
jacket.
all leaving after that. He'd beaten everybody up. Tebow was, we were all standing together. It was Janelle, your mom, me, and Tebow, and we were walking out, and he's like, Janelle, don't be fucking him too hard tonight or something. Your mom's sitting there, and I was like, yo, bro, chill. Like, yo, I could tell y'all were both like, yeah, like, all right, chill out right now.
Man.
Tebow's nuts, dude.
You remember the
love
dude
that
died
man,
after
too.
that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he had a brain aneurysm.
He was
ended
in
up
my
dying.
weight class too.
Yeah.
That was sketchy.
He died like a day or two later in the
They
hospital.
left that guy, dude. They left that guy land on the floor over there for like 30 minutes too before he died. Like they did not do their job. That guy was sitting on the floor going.
Well, then
For
Rough and
30
Rowdy, they
minutes.
sold. Barstool Sports
Barstool
bought
Sports
them.
bought 'em, yeah,
and
but-
they've been doing that.
They got in some shit after that because that
I
dude
bet.
died, and I think there was people doing like coke and shit in the back right before they walked
Smoking
out.
cigarettes and
Yeah,
shit
it
on
was a
back, like they're
wild
calling their
show.
name up, putting their cigarettes out. Dude, what a wild freaking night
That
of
was sick,
fun.
and I fucking handled everybody in there. All those bad
You
dudes who
better.
thought
They're
they
on
were fucking
cocaine and
tough.
freaking smoking cigarettes. Be careful, that guy's on meth. You'll be all right. Just
Those are the wildest ones because these are like fucking big,
Off the
like,
street,
off the
yeah.
street dudes who think they're tough and
No
they wanna
technique.
no technique, but they're
Just
gonna
a lot of
swing
this.
their freaking
Yeah.
heart out, dude. It was wild, but yeah, they sucked.
That was a cool experience too. I remember all of that night.
Dude, there was thousands of people there.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was at a convention center, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
it was packed.
I'd fought a bunch up until that point, and then like I went in there and I was like, this might be the most people I've ever fought in front of.
It's crazy how people like watching shitty, crazy people fight. Like they like that environment. You'll see more people because I feel like you get like a lot of like
It's entertainment.
it's an entertainment,
Yeah.
bro.
It's just like the YouTuber influencer
Yeah,
fights.
those
Like
fights.
we don't tune into that to see technique. We tune in to that to be entertained. Like the tag team boxing. It was the most horrid shit you've ever seen in your life, but it was still somehow entertaining. This dude just gets slapped up. He turns around and he tags the other guy in. And now, that dude's a fresh guy's fighting the other guy.
Yeah.
It's just interesting and it's entertaining. But yeah, like, it's
those,
fun
like,
to watch.
I call them like a spectacle. Like that off the street boxing was like a spectacle. Even the
Yes.
bare knuckle, because there's been a bunch of MMA shows in Myrtle Beach, but then that bare knuckle came to Myrtle Beach and that place was packed the fuck out.
Like 5,000 people.
Yeah, way more than any of the MMA shows. And I'm just thinking it's because it's kind of like a spectacle. It's something like new and different. And I feel like
Right.
MMA used to be like that.
It
when
was.
It was like a new thing where it's like, oh, come see this like crazy thing going on. And so more people like initially like showed up, and then it kind of like once it got more known, the people, it got its own like fan base, and those fan bases are the ones that come, and everybody else figured out like, oh, this is probably not for me kind of thing.
Right.
But everybody's like kind of interested in the bare knuckle. Like I trained those two kids, Max and Alex, and their dad brought them to the bare knuckle fights, and they're just 6 and 8 years old. And he was like, yeah, I just want to bring them there just to like, get a sense of like what it's really like to fight, which is a little hardcore, but I was like, it's like, it is kind of good, for them to like see like what like real violence is. I mean, that's like no gloves. I mean, that's like, and I was even saying the weirdest thing for me being ringside was the noises that the bare knuckle was making. Like the bone on bone, like knuckles hitting like flesh was different than like a glove. Like the glove has like a zoom and has like this like nice like padded sound.
Yeah.
But the knuckles, I mean, it's like when you just hit your knuckles together and that noise it makes.
Just a thud.
Or like when someone kicks like shin to shin, that noise, it gives you like, if you've experienced that, it like, you feel it on your insides. And I was feeling that because like, I mean, no bullshit. This is like, I'm sitting ringside and I hear like, it just sees like that bone, that noise. And I'm like, oh my God, I know he's like in there just like, because it's going off his forearms. They're going off the side of his head. I mean, and it's just bone. And it's that noise, man. I'm just like, it's different, dude.
Yeah.
It puts you in a different like state.
Hey, Walker's when I called Walker the other day, he said I think it's his cousin or something. His name is Clay, and he asked Walker. He said, "Is this something that you would have done when you were like fighting and stuff?" And Walker said, "Fuck no." He was like, "No." He was like, "I could just tell like through Jay's face talking about me." He was like, "I could just see it when he was hearing that sounds." He said, "It's just pure pain." And he said it's a certain, like he said, when he got knocked out in MMA, it's like a thud. He didn't really know. He said he could tell every time I got hit, he could see pain. Like, It's not like it's going to take a lot for you to get knocked completely out in bare knuckle, which it happens. But I'm saying like it's just like knuckle on bones and shit, bro. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's nothing. It's unlike any other type of fighting there is. And it's a good point. Like I don't think everyone. There's going to be a bunch of people that are like, oh, I want to do bare knuckle. I'll do it. Go in there and do bare knuckle until you find out what bare knuckle is. You're going to say they won't get when they like when I got hit and I got up, they're staying down. They're going to be like, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck that. There's a freak that came out of me that made me want to get up and stay back in there. Yeah. But like that stuff is it's unlike anything else. And it's also like you said, they took his kids there because they wanted to see what like a real fight is. That felt like MMA is a real fight. It really is a real fight. That though, when I fought, it felt like me and this dude had said something bad to each other, and we showed up in a ring and we were like, yo, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And the way we're hitting each other and looking at each other, I was like, I feel like I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah, it was way more primal, even for me being like backstage, like because I want to feel the energy he's feeling so that I can be fully in that moment, because then I feel like it's going to make me better as a coach, because I'm honestly like, and when he's getting hit, like I do in a weird way, like feel like I can kind of see what his face looks like and I can understand like where he's at. And that helps me to be a better coach, so I can like speak to him where he's at. So he feels like, that's all going on. But it's like being back there, I just felt how much more like primal it was. It was like MMA is more like, it was a little bit more sporty. Like I'm back there, I'm like, let's focus on the technique. Let's work all of our strategies and our game plans. Back there, it was like there was strategy, there was game plans. Don't get me wrong, but it was almost like fuck all that. It's about to get real as fuck. Like in strategy and shit, that might all go out the window as soon as we step in there. And I was like, and have to like fully like kind of commit to that, like to hey, we might have to like throw some things that we practice out the window, and we might have to like make adjustments in real time, because I never experienced that. This was his first time in there. Like, it's different. Like the way you catch and roll punches, the way you block, the way you hold your fists, like it's all super different. So it was like, I was like, all right, this is way more primal. This is way less of like, hey, let's implement our like technical strategy, and more like, let's fucking get down to business, because it could get really fucking raw, like right immediately. And
it could get ugly in there.
Yeah.
People are getting busted up. Their eyes are completely swollen. Their cuts all over their face.
That second dude, when they pulled like his eye apart, and he like, they're trying to check and see if he can see that big giant. Yeah. Those two big dudes that fought.
I saw that. Dude. I only saw a little bit of that.
Yeah. But it was brutal, man. Yeah. I'm like, fuck.
And it's a different rule set than just regular boxing.
Correct.
Too.
Yeah.
And I think most people would just assume that it's the same, just without the big gloves. But no, like you can hook the back of their head and pull them down. Like you and Walker were going over punching their guard like up here and stuff. You could punch their arms, their fists.
Everything hurts.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with hitting any. Bro, if I hit you right there or right here, you're going to go, oh, like, you know.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, bro. Like, in bare knuckle, like, hit whatever you want. And even I heard Chevy say that he was like, he's in one of his interviews, he's like, I'm going to be punching him in the arms and everything.
Yep.
And that shit hurts, bro. Take that knuckle and get hit somewhere. He punched me in the pec right here. And after the fight, like, I slightly remember getting hit in the pec, but like after the fight, my arm didn't want to get picked up that much because he like messed up some nerves in my chest that went up my arm. Like, you hit anybody anywhere, bro. And also the spray and pray, like hitting all of it, that's going to make people not want to fight anymore. You're going to be hurting all over. You're going to be like, man, I'm defeated. Like, don't just aim for the chin. Don't just aim for the body. Punch anything you want and hit it the hard. They're going to be like, man, I'm hurting. It's about this, dude. And bare knuckle, you can almost beat probably anybody if you put them through enough pain. Like bare knuckles pain. If you beat them all over enough, they go back to their corner and they're like, oh no, like they're going to their fights, their IQ and everything is going to go down because you're beating them mentally.
Yeah.
You know?
So, biggest takeaway, right? We'll start with Nick. So, your biggest takeaway from this entire experience, what would that be? Not only from, obviously the fight itself, but the build up to the fight, the lead up and the training and everything else. What would you say you took away from this entire experience?
I think I just took away that how much like progress we've like made like as like a team. I kind of like that's like my big takeaway is kind of like just realizing where we've got to, like technically, like to see him go out there and do some of the like things that we practice, and those things literally what wins him the fights or gets him a knockout. To see two things that we practice like so many times, like a pull 1-2 and then like a catch shoot right down the line, like
that's awesome.
Seeing those things, right? it lets me know I'm doing things right. I saw a lot of room for me to improve as a coach, and I can't wait to like implement those things. So I took away a lot of small technical things that I want to just like get better as a coach. Maybe some things like in the corner, because it was like I figured all of us would be like in the corner together. That's how it's usually like kind of been. Right. And when I'm doing MMA and stuff, usually I play like a role. I'm like a boxing coach. I play a role in like footwork, stand up, and I like to stay in my lane because we like usually we have like a pretty solid team. Like Walker's got the kickboxing handle, DK's got the jiu-jitsu. Like if Austin's there with me, he's got like wrestling. And I trust everybody to have their like specialty. So I never, I try to like play my singular role, like help out where I'm at and be part of that team. Mm-hmm. This time I was like kind of like, and especially when they mic'd me up, it was kind of like I got
They mic'd you up?
Yeah, they mic'd me up. So you could hear
him on the broadcast.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so you'll be able to like, if you go back and listen to it, and I want to listen to it because even I couldn't hear myself saying it, but I want to do it as like a coach to see what I said, but making sure I wasn't like, I felt like I said too much. Like we kind of talked about it, maybe like sometimes because I could tell he was like, came back wide-eyed. And for like the first round, like after that first round, he didn't say anything and just like looked at me, just kind of like, that's it, like just staring at me. And I was like, all right, I know he's just trying to, his mind is processing, let me talk. But, little things I could have done differently. And I pulled like a lot of those things away. Some technical things that I kind of like noticed and that I've been talking with my boxing coach with that is going to help me, like help him become even better. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just basically like, the biggest thing I took away is that also I felt that this man is like ready to go to another level. And that was my biggest like takeaway is that like, I work with a lot of different athletes, and you see like the ebbs and flows. It's fucking hard. The hardest sport in the world is this, fighting, right? And to be a professional athlete in fighting is the hardest thing you can do. And it's never like this straight line. Oh, we just stack up wins, and then you're just like everybody's good to go, and we just rack up. It's a fucking roller coaster. Yeah. You win, you lose, you have injuries, you have things going on in your everyday life. Like it is a fucking battle, right? Sometimes you're more motivated, sometimes you're less motivated. It's hard. And just to see this man in the past 3 fights get 3 different finishes, and us to keep like all these finishes have been like real smooth, like stand up work, like all of it's been just like great technique. And to see all the work we put in, like essentially come with like 3 knockout wins in a row has been like amazing. And then I see like what it does to him, like mentally. I feel like he just reached like a whole nother level. And if we play off that level, like basically our possibilities are like endless. Right. He could go as far as he wants, and I'm just stoked to be part of this process. And I just want to be the best coach I can so that he can fully live out like all of his potential, because right now he's at a place like mentally that I've never seen him at. And I think these 3 wins have been like critical and kind of building up a little bit. There's been a lot. I mean, life is crazy, and to get through parts of the life that he did, and to come these past 3 wins this year and really like string things together that way has been like awesome to be a part of. And I just think I think what I'm taking from this fight is that we are just like reaching the surface of where it's going to go. And now we hit another level, and I can't wait to see where that next level kind of takes.
Yeah. I mean, most people I think that know Jeremiah or know of him in the MMA scene, or, just the fight scene, right? Everybody knows he's a dog, but I mean, that dog really got tested last week. I mean, it really did. And I think the way you bounced back from a fan, me speaking from a fan's perspective, everybody in that crowd felt that shit, dude. Everybody. Like, I wish I could bottle that feeling that I felt and that everybody there was feeling and just give it to you so that you could experience. I mean, obviously, you're feeling, a way that none of us can experience, right? Because you're in there in the thick of it. But that way you could experience how everybody else was feeling towards you at that point, because that was fucking nuts, man. I mean, there was one point, dude, I was so happy, like, and I almost feel weird saying this on camera, but I almost fucking cried, dude. I was so fucking happy. Like, I went up and I hugged your mom, and like, hugging her was just like, shit, I'm about to cry. I gotta walk away.
I cried afterwards. I was so emotional afterwards, dude.
But that makes sense. But for me, like, and maybe it's because of like all the, that how I've gotten to know you guys over the past month with the filming and stuff like that. Like, I mean, that played a role too, because I've really gotten to know you guys, and then
you come invested
then seeing you guys like put your bodies through hell just so you could make weight to go put your body through more hell. You know, that was fucking nuts, dude. And so I learned that it's not just a dog that you have in you, man. It's I don't even know what the fuck to call it.
It's 16 years of dedication and skill and knowledge that I've absorbed, and you know, like I've never quit. I've used all the things that have happened to me in my life to become that person you see that night. Like I've been doing this forever, and I feel like some people are like quick bloomers, you know, and I'm the type of person where I have to go through and endure a lot of things to be able to fully bring out my full potential. And like Nick says, I feel like I have just now unlocked a something in my life that's getting ready to open up a huge door for me. Like I had to go through all those years and shit to be able to become that person that came out on last weekend, you know? So it's just not an overnight thing. It's I dedicated my whole life to this thing. And that's why with the people that are here right now in my life, they're going to get the best years of my life because I've worked my whole life for these years that they're going to be involved in. Like it's going to be something special. You don't get to come by this often. And I'll say this because I've been doing this for 16 years and I know what it's like to have these dudes fighting and in the back and how they bring the certain type of person they're bringing out. I bring out something that no one else brings out and I capitalize off of it. And I believe it's getting ready to only do this. I know that this happens, but I think right now I'm here.
Well, we've done that, and now you're ready for your fucking.
We've
like set the platform up. The ship is fucking ready, and we're going, dude.
Amen.
And you mentioned you've been doing this a long time, but you just turned 30, bro. That is the prime time for.
It's perfect.
Oh, it's perfect.
I think
30
it's like,
to 35 is like I'm thinking those are the best fucking years. That's when your mental capacity catches up with your physical capacity, and you become the best athlete through these times. Like smart, because fighting is very much mental as it is physical, right? And he's now got like to a point mentally that his like knowledge of the sport is so strong that in his body still has all the athleticism to like make use of that. So it's like where the rubber meets the road. It's perfect now. Let's go.
I think that's what I lacked in a lot of my past years is the mental part of it. But now with like the shit that I've been going through and stuff, it's like I won't allow anything here affect what happens here in life anymore because I'm not going to get robbed. I'm not going to say it, but some of my best friends that fight, they're getting robbed of their victories. They're getting robbed of their best part of their life because of what's going on in here before they go to take act. I will never let what happens up in here affect what happens out here because I know what I'm capable of. And if I let this affect this, then that means I'm letting the devil beat me. You know what I mean? And I got a too damn good of a relationship with my Heavenly Father to allow myself to get robbed of the knowledge and the things he's gifted me with. He's gifted me with a talent that you don't come by often. And I'm believing in that. And I'm going to go act in that. I'm going to go be that just like we saw last weekend. So I'm just excited to see what we do because I'm going off of what I believe, and I'm believing that we're the best around right now, and we're about to we're gonna rip some new asses, dude. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down.
But so it was a cool experience for me. It's always a cool experience watching somebody I know fight. You know, whether it's you or DK, Joe. You know, watching you guys fight. I mean, dude, I remember whenever I used to live with Jordan Penny, and we'd watch DK. Fight. I think he went up to Maine one time. He went to Italy another time. And like, I'm sitting here like biting my nails, like, you know, cause I'm invested, right? I'm invested because this is a friend of mine and I want to see them succeed. But then doing the embedded series, like, man, it
brought you into the team of it. So now you're like,
I got to see firsthand behind the scenes, not just, you know,
and
from a TV screen.
that made my job a little bit. Because there was some days I was hungry, I didn't want to do it, and I knew you were going to be there. And my mom was talking about one day, I was like, I got to go do some embedded shit. And I was like, I'm not going to lie, this is extra. Like, you know, I'm usually just having to diet, train my ass off. But now Jay's like, I'll see you tomorrow. A couple of times I was like, fuck. And then I show up and like the camera's already there. Like, I'm like, I got to be the best version of myself. You know what I mean? But a wise man once told me growing up, he said, live your life like a camera's always on you. And like, that's like not letting yourself look, you know, slack, you know what I mean? And that camera should be God.
Dude, the camera, just like God, will hold you accountable.
Amen.
And, you know, if that camera's on you, like, you know, you're going to make sure that you are performing, you know? So that was I don't know. And I mean, the camera's not always a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But but yeah, it'll hold you accountable. And I mean, dude, you showed up and showed out. And at the end of the day, it was face down, ass up, funeral, just like we said the whole entire time.
Everything
And
lined up.
It all lined up. You called your shot.
We went to my daughter's birthday party. We went and ate hibachi. Like everything we said we were going to do, we did it. I said I was going to knock him out. I don't think it could have been planned out any better.
Yeah. It was a good experience,
from you
man.
calling the shot. Like,
dude,
that whole thing. Like we spoke.
It was poetry in motion.
You spoke it into existence.
That's what it was. It was poetry in motion.
It was awesome. I had so much fun.
Got the dub.
I can't wait to do it again.
And then we get to do it again in December.
And we're about to squat up in a fucking van drive 9 hours, dude.
That is gonna be
a 9-hour trip with the
9
boys.
hours.
I'm driving.
We'll have to do like 2-hour shifts driving or
I
something.
like to drive though, so I'll drive the whole 9 hours. I'm like a big driver.
Well, say less. Wow. I'll just I'm actually very, very glad you said that. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a good driver. Though.
I am, dude. I drove. Me and Janelle for a honeymoon drove 10,000 miles in 26 days.
Wow.
Damn.
Just all around the country, dude.
But this
I
time,
like
beforehand, let's do some research at where we're staying, and maybe so you guys aren't like, fuck, I need a sauna, you know.
No, but see, just like I said, though, we're gonna go through that same thing. We're gonna call a place, and you're like, oh, we got it, and then you get there and everything.
You gotta go.
Or maybe get a hotel room with a tub and not a shower.
What would be sick is those portable saunas. Like that.
I've used them before.
I know. I remember you said it kind of worked.
I might be able to help us.
Because then we could do tub and portable sauna in the room, even though it makes the room feel.
Chris, if you're watching, I'm about to ask your mother to borrow her infrared portable sauna.
She has an infrared portable sauna.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
I'm pretty sure it's portable. She got it at her house.
It's not.
Those things get pretty nasty. She's probably gonna be like, I don't want someone else sweating in it.
He's gonna get it for like.
By the time I'm done with it, whoever you are, I'm sorry.
We might not get it back.
We'll clean it.
We can't clean it. We can clean it.
Possibly. Oh, shit.
All right, so it's 3:00. We got dinner at 5.
Nice.
So, we'll just go ahead and wrap it here and then go get some dinner later, have some cake and shit. Because we did get him, if you watch The Embedded, we got him a nice cake. We surprised him.
Didn't eat it.
With birthday. Didn't take a bite out of it.
Me and Britton even leveled up and we got him the good cake, which was kind of also extra.
It was a Walmart cake.
So listen. We got to the Walmart and we see the cake and Britton's like, that's the cake Jay gets for everybody. I was like, we were like, all right, well, we can't get the same cake that he's been getting because he got a cake for me. And we saw that exact same cake and I was like, all right, we can't get that one. So we decided to level up, right? The one cake, we was like, I don't know, $7-8 $7.99. $7-8 more than the other one.
Oh, yeah, $7 more?
It was like $15, $16.
When we were checking out,
Britton paid. Britton did.
When we were checking out the hotel, I told her, I was like, hey, there's a whole birthday cake up there. None of us touched. I saw her eyes. Like, she was like, I'm going to clean that room. I want that cake.
Yeah.
Whoever cleaned that room was happy with the cake.
Yeah.
For sure.
But we're gonna get him a real cake that you can
We're gonna go have a good time, get some dinner. What are we going? Abuelos?
Yeah, abuelo, dude.
It's good. Yeah,
it's
good.
Abuelos.
Get some Mexicana food.
Mexican is my favorite food.
And,
I love Mexican.
I
want a big old cold Modelo. You got the cold glasses.
Modelo's too.
Yeah.
That was in
It's another fun time coming up tonight. So we appreciate everybody watching, subscribing. We've grown since we started the Embeddeds. We've grown by a little over 100 subs, so that's cool. There will be more Embeddeds in the future. Obviously we'll have some that incorporate Jay-Z here, maybe some other people too. We'll see how it goes, but we appreciate you tuning in. You can follow Jay-Z's adventure at The Prophet MMA on Instagram. And that's above his head right now, and then above Nick's head is his Instagram handle, just Nick Juretic. At Nick Juretic. Yeah. So yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in, and 30th episode. We're gonna keep pumping these things out. If you like this type of content, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit. I don't care if you don't hit the notification bell. Doesn't matter to me, as long as you're subscribed. That'd be cool. We'll holler at you guys later. Till next time.
Peace.